Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Big Ugly Bil. My name is Alan. Thank you for once again for your subscriptions and for the kindness that you're showing me, guys. I do appreciate it, and I say this at the beginning of every video I do because I just want to reinforce that you guys mean a lot to me, and I do appreciate everything that you do, and I really appreciate the kindness and the love that you show me, guys. So thank you very, very, very much. Um, just very quickly before I go on to what I want to talk about today, I did a very quick video. Well, I did two brief videos yesterday on making apple pies. Now, you don't have to watch the videos, that's fine. Um, but the reason that I did that is I wanted to sort of show a way that you can recycle food as well. Like, say, for example, if you've got, I don't know, leftovers in the cupboard, for example, or leftovers in the fridge, well, to the point, I guess, and you don't know what to do with them, well, you can always blend them up and you can make them into a pie filling, or you can blend them up and you can put them on toast for a sandwich, or even like those sandwich cookers. So there are lots of things that you can do with food to recycle the food, or not, yeah, just to keep the food going. Um, I'm really good with food. I don't throw anything out, unless it's really rotting. I won't throw anything out. And generally, when I'm on my own, I'll just buy enough food for like a couple of days or a week, and that way the food in the fridge won't go off. And then I'll go and buy another lot of food. That's how I tend to do it. So, for what it's worth, guys, I just wanted to share that with you. Now, into the dirt, into the dirt, and here's my sign, YouTube, my entertainment only YouTube sign, entertainment only YouTube. Tarot reader from Sydney, beekeeper from Sydney, entertainment only. Okay, so when I woke up this morning, as I did, a couple of things were kind of appearing on my Instagram feed and on my YouTube feed. Basically, the first one was this revolting migrant detention center, which is built apparently in the Everglades in Florida, and it's built up on a swamp which is filled with alligators. So the idea is if you try to escape, then you will probably get eaten by an alligator or something like that. So it's a bit gory. Um, yeah, it's just very, very nasty. Um, and there was video. This apparently there was. I saw a quick snippet of Tucko and DeSantis together, just gloating about how magnificent it is. Um, Apparently, it took 8 days to build, and from what I understand, there wasn't the appropriate policies and procedures for getting the land as well. That's the limited understanding that I have of it. So I don't know if that's true, but I wouldn't be surprised. But 8 days is pretty quick, and it just looks like what I saw. It just looked like a big marquee with cages in it, filled with beds, and that's where these people are going to sleep. So I don't know where the bathroom amenities are or the toilets are. I don't know where that's going to be. But listening to DeSantis talk about that this morning, sorry, when I listened to DeSantis talking about that, he made it sound like he made it sound like it was almost like a hotel. Oh, we're gonna have this here, and they can do this here, and they can do this here, and in that, I mean, this is going to be for people that haven't gone through the appropriate court processes, right? These are going to be people that have probably never committed a crime in their entire life, and you know, because they're illegal immigrants, or maybe they have the documentation. I can't keep up with it. I can't keep up with it. But anyway, it just put I don't know, like rocks in my stomach. It was just horrible. But yeah, the only thing I want to say about that is anybody watching this from the States, like I just got to say to you that the world is watching, right? We are watching, and you know, we're talking about the USA here. We're not talking about some third world country. We're talking about the United States of America. So that's all I'll say about that. I don't want to read on it just yet. Yeah, I'll have a look at a few other things. So the thing that I did want to look at to start off with is that the Senate passed the Big Ugly Bill. so, so basically, it's got to go to the House. So apparently, the vote in the Senate was 51 to 50. So, Mr. Vance, Entertainment Only YouTube, Mr. Vance casted the deciding vote. It's now got to go to the Senate to get passed, and I don't know how long that process will be. But this ineffectively will probably affect healthcare. Approximately 17 million people in the States will lose their healthcare. It's got huge tax breaks to the rich people, like the absolute, like the minority of the rich people, and it's going to increase the national debt by another $3.5 trillion. So this it's just going to increase it by that. Now, what I find the word that comes to my mind, there are a few words that come to my mind when I think about that, but the one that I can say here on YouTube is the absolute cruelty of this. The absolute cruelty of this. This is going to, if this goes through, this is just going to affect so many people that, depend on these benefits and depend on these services. It's going to affect a lot of people. And it's not like the money is going to people in need. The money is going into tax breaks for people who are extremely wealthy. Like, I go figure. It's I can't work it out. And it's impossible to work it out because it's just so wrong on every level. So anyway, I think something has happened to my picture here. Anyway, I'm going to keep going, guys. So I want to have a look at that, okay? I just want to have a quick look at that. Is this bill going to go through? Will this revolting bill become law? All right, guys, come on down. Okay, guys, I hope you can see this because I've just got the camera down, okay? So I've just been shuffling. So will this bill get passed? Ten of Cups, Queen of Wands, Six of Wands, the Star. Okay. Okay. And underneath we've got Temperance. Okay. Okay, guys, let me have a think. I hate to say it, guys, but I think it will get passed according to these cards. So let me tell you what I think. So the first card that came out was the Ten of Cups, right? So this is the GOP celebrating happy days, happy families, rah, 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 you know, getting all comfortable and cozy with each other. They're actually, like these people here, they're actually celebrating this barbaric thing. I think underneath of this with the Queen of Cups, I think there's going to be the reaction to this is going to be a lot of fire. And I think it's in particular a lot of fire from women. I think that women are going to be, I mean, everybody's going to be affected by this, but I think women are going to feel this a bit more. And the Queen of Cups, she can be quite fiery as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if there would be a lot of protests and everything galvanized about this. That will be maybe included in the July 4 protests, which is just in a couple of days, guys. But I'm just getting female energy here with this on some level. There's some females going to be really prominently maybe speaking out about it. Um, but I think the women are going to be like, what the hell, in particular. Six of Wands. So this is the GOP getting on their high horse and the victory and everything else, all the hoo-ha. And this is the Star card. So I'll just do this because we have the odd censorship happening now on YouTube. A few readers have been done for censorship. So that's the Star card. And I think it's this is the card of the narcissist, right? So this is this is the narcissist that got his own way. This is Taco underneath it all that got what he wants. I think there's just going to be a process now when it goes to the house. You know, it's just going to go. It's just going to be. It might be debated a few times. You know, there might be a process that goes through. Maybe some stuff gets changed or added or taken away. Oh, it goes my phone. There might be some stuff that there might be some, you know, changing of the bill or altering the bill to get it to go through. Ace of Wands, this is the beginning of the new fire. And I think, in essence, I think a lot of people are going to be seriously thinking about literally starting to grow their own produce, growing their own vegetables and things like that. Um, but this is the beginning of something new, the beginning of a different way that people will be looking at getting their valuables and getting the things that they need and getting the things that they require for their lives. This is a ace. This is a new beginning of doing things. With the Five of Wands, there's going to be additional. There's going to be additional. What's the word I'm thinking of? Um, Fighting for resources. There's going to be an increased amount of competition, is what I'm thinking for these for resources as these changes go through. Nine of Wands, people are going to be feeling really embattled with these changes. It's going to really make people feel pushed up against the wall. Um, it's going to be the death of the old system as we knew it. Now, what I will say about the death card is that the death card is also it's about transformation, you know. It's not just about something or somebody dying, it's about transformation. And if I look back at the Ace of Wands, which is here, right? So in this way, I think people are going to be absolutely fed up and annoyed with this, as rightly so. But it's going to transform. It's going to. I want to say something good will come out of this in the future, but I don't want to say it quite like that. What I mean by that is the old system that will be died with this will hopefully be replaced by a new system that is much more effective. And it's almost like it could even be it could even be that the old system and all the rules and regulations and the things that this bill is crucifying, they need to be put down for something new to rise up. So I don't think this is over. It's like anything in life, it's transitional. And we're just going through a horrible phase right now globally, but it's transitional, which means it's not going to be lasting forever. It's just a stage that we're going through. And it's all because of with the moon card, because of the absolute lunacy of these decisions and all the secret hidden agendas. And there's stuff that is hidden in this that the GOP don't want us to see. So unfortunately, guys, I do think that it's going to go through. Um, yeah, I wish I had better news, and I hope that I'm wrong. But I could see it going through, maybe with some tweaking, maybe a few changes. I was watching some stuff that Elizabeth Warren was saying a few hours ago, and I know there has been some adjustments to the bill. So I'm hoping that there'll be more adjustments to the bill so the absolute horror of this can be minimized in whatever way it can. So Yeah, so that's what I think, guys. I wish I had better news, but I've got to be honest with you. All right, guys, I've got some more readings to do. Give me 2 seconds. The only good thing about this bill, and it's not really a good thing, is that it's going to affect everybody, you know. And I was actually texting my good friend Igor this morning. So hi, Igor. Igor and I were texting each other this morning in the wee hours. Um, and he made a really valid point, and I know other readers have said it as well. But Igor just said to me, or texted to me, and he said that this is going to affect the GOP people as well, and this could be the final wake up call for them as well. And I'm wondering if that is what that death card is about as well. I'm just thinking about that now, that death card in the last reading. So I just want to see um, what the effect of this will be on the MAGA nutcases. Yeah. What would the effect of these bill going through? I mean, will it actually start to open people's eyes? So, what will the effect? I'm not really saying that question very well. So, what I want to know is, will Magatonians, will the MAGA, yeah, the Magatonians, will they actually start to finally wake up and smell the roses when they realize they can't afford the things that they're affording to? Like, will they actually be able to put the pieces together? Okay, so will MAGA get what this is about? Will cards are falling out? Okay. Will MAGA get what these cuts are doing? Will the Magatonians get what these cuts are doing? Will they come to understand? Come to understand. All right, guys, come on down. Okay, folks, I do hope that you can see this. Okay, will they get it? Eight of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune. Okay, Ten of Wands, Ace of Swords, Temperance. All right, guys. All right, guys, here's my story. So the question was, will the Magatonians, the MAGA nutcases, one more time, YouTube entertainment only, will the penny drop, right? Will they finally think, "Ooh, I can't afford groceries. Ooh, this horrible bill. Ooh, the Yeti. Ooh, ooh, well, ding, 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 ding." Will that happen? I think it might. Eight of Pentacles. So in particular, when this starts to go through, and I'm talking specifically about the Megatonians here, okay? The people that are doing the day-to-day jobs, the people working in factories, the people doing remedial jobs, then there's nothing wrong with doing remedial jobs. I've done plenty of that in my life. There's nothing wrong with that. But the factory workers, people maybe working on the farms, people just doing routine work, they're going to start to they're going to start to feel this the first, because I think these are the people that are going to have less disposable income. It's going to start with them. But underneath it, Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune is about karmic cycles. It's about endings and beginnings. I think the wheel is going to actually start to turn in these people's brains. Ace of Swords, because it's just going to start the the reality of this is just going to penetrate through anything that they were thinking. It's going to penetrate through the mind of, I wouldn't call it the mind, but the mindset of the would-be king. It's swords. It's a mental thing. There's actually going to be people that are going to go, oh, 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 because it's going to really burden them. There are people in MAGA land that are going to be really, really, really burdened by this. And it's going to be these people. That's where it's going to start. But if I go to the base of the deck, and I love going to the base of the deck because you kind of get the back, you kind of get the, for me at least, going into the base of the deck, you get a lot of shade in the story. Shade, you get a lot of filling information into the story. So here we go, temperance. So at first they're going to be going, oh yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Oh yeah, yeah, no, it's okay, it's all good, and no. And that's the same card that came up in the last reading. And here we go, death card. So when I was shuffling before, I said to myself, if the death card comes out again, that's going to be my absolute yes card, that people are going to really start to wake up. And this is actually going to start to finally transform these idiots' brains, that people that voted for this nut job, this orange buffoon. It's going to be a wake up call. It's going to be a wake up call because they're going to finally look at things with the hangman from a different perspective. They're going to see things. They're going to think, oh, maybe everything wasn't great when it came to the King of Pentacles, when it came to the Orange Menace. They're going to start to look at him in a different way. Now, King of Swords, there could be some legal action with this as well. But if you look at this king, right? So the King of Swords in the tarot, he's the only king that's looking at you in the face. Like he's like doing that, right? That's the king. And if you see this king, like he's you can see that. He you don't look like a happy king. And I think in a way, this is, you could say in a way that this is going to be like these swords cards, right? This is the truth coming out, and this is how it's going to make them feel. It's gonna be like boof, like that vision that, oh, you did this, you mongrel. They're going to start talking about it with the Page of Swords, or there could be like maybe some kind of a spy in the camp in the felons regime. Maybe a few leaks coming out, but pages are messengers, right? I think there's going to be a lot of stuff on between Macedonian world. There's going to be a lot of stuff electronically on the internet, messaging, Facebooking, groups coming up. They're going to be word's going to get around. And look at this. Ten of Swords and the Tower. So these are like, for me, these are like the two cards for the ending and the beginning of something. And I'm wondering, and I'm not wishing anybody any harm, but I need to choose my words very carefully. Is something going to happen to Taco because of this? When I get these two cards together, I just think, whoa, 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 whoa. So this ain't over. This ain't over. And I've often thought, well, not often thought, but yeah, I've had discussions with people about this as well. And I think if there's going to be any unaliving of any certain people or a certain person, it's going to probably come from within the ranks of the GOP, from the Macedonians. So I'm actually wondering, I think this is actually, if this goes through, which I hope I'm wrong, but if this goes through, there's lots of cards about changes and new beginnings and Wheel of Fortune. Like there's big energy in this, right? There's really, really big energies with all those majors. I've unfortunately I've already put the cards back in the deck. Otherwise, I should have pulled them out. But I'm just getting big energy with this, right? This is, if this goes through, this is going to have, it will affect people, obviously, but it's going to have effect. Let me just say it's going to have effects for people that weren't intended to have that they weren't intended to be affected upon, if I can say it like that. I'm just trying to choose my words carefully, but you hopefully understand what I'm trying to say. I think I think orange might become the new red. Just thinking, just saying. All right, guys, one more thing I want to have a look at. Now, the other thing that I wanted to talk about was basically um, the muskrat and the taco. So now that's all starting up again, the brewing and the love is definitely over between the two of them. Um, but I actually, well, I don't think there was ever any love there in the beginning. It was like every other relationship that the Orange Menace has. It was a transactional relationship. Um, Once again, YouTube entertainment only. My thoughts are that they're both narcissists. Um, they're both driven by different things, but in a way, they're kind of like mirrored images of each other in some ways. So now, the felon is threatening to or thinking of, maybe deporting Musk. Um, Musk is now saying that he wants to start a third um, party in the US political party. Could you imagine that there'd be the GOP, the Dems, and the Muskrats? Could you imagine that? So now here's the thing too, what I think about that. And I know I'm raving on a bit today, guys, so I do apologize. What I'll do when I do this video, I'll actually comment the times. I'll do a thing when the different readings are. So if you want to just go to a reading and miss the blurb, you can just go to that. But here's my thing. Without getting into conspiracy theories, but whether the muskrat helped or changed the election last year, I don't want to go into that. Not publicly, not here, because I just don't think it's going to. I think it's just going to create division, and I think it's just going to. I mean, what's happened has happened, right? So we can't change that. We've got this orange buffoon for president. The reason that I'm always pausing is there's about 20 different words that I'm trying to that just want to come out, and I just can't say them. Can't say it. But if I was having a cup of coffee with you, I will be giving you the full story. Let me tell you, it'll be a strain. It'll all be profanities. But I just don't think I can say it here. So I'm trying to be a good boy. But anyway, so I just want to. Okay, so where I'm going with that concentrate, Alan. If if the muskrat gets deported, I think he could even potentially be even more dangerous. Because he computers and satellites and things. I think he could do a lot of damage from being overseas. It's not like you're having two kids in the school ground. They're going to start hitting each other, right? This is a different kind of fight. No, I know that I have read on this before, but in light of what's going on, where's this going? Where is this going? So where is the I'm tempted to do a Celtic cross. No, I'll stick to something else. So where is now? What are the current energies? Pardon me. Where is this going between Muskrat and Taco? Right. Come on down, guys. Okay, guys. I hope you can see that. So where's this going to go between the Muskrat and the Taco? Two of Wands. Three of Cups. Okay. Three of Wands. 10 of Wands. Six of Pentacles. All right, guys. Okay. So, what's going to happen to there? wouldn't call it relationship. What's going to happen to their thing? This is interesting. It's very gritty, mundane, day-to-day stuff, but there's some majors coming up in this as well. So I think this is the start of the next phase of the, Kramer versus Kramer. Two of Wands. So they are both scheming, they're both plotting and planning against the other one. They're both looking for influences outside of America into other countries of the world. They're both preparing to get dirt on the other one. And they're both going to be saying how wonderful they are. They're both of them going to make out, oh, I don't need you, and I don't need, like Trump's going to say, I don't need the muskrat, and the muskrat saying, I don't need Trump. But there's going to be, it's almost like a forced kind of a celebration going on. They're both, if you look here, if you look at this person here, see how they're quite elevated? This is what they're both going to do. They both have to be the higher person, the brighter star in the sky, because they're both narcissists, right? They're going to have to, they're going to both try to elevate themselves above this. So this is going to be quite nauseating. That's what they're going to do. According to this, they're both going to be just raising up and in all their gung ho. Three of Wands, waiting for the ships to come in. So, in other words, so the Two of Wands, so they're going to be sending out stuff, messages, planning, what have you, both against the other person. So, Tucko against the muskrat and the muskrat against the Tucko, yeah. And they're both going to be waiting to see what comes in. This is both of them doing this and feeling this, Ten of Wands. So this is going to actually be quite burdensome for them, going to be quite burdensome for both of them. So when you see, this outward display of celebration or wanting to rise up above it, and I'm really fine, and I'm going to be fine, and he doesn't need me, and I don't need him, and blah blah, I don't need him, and blah blah blah. That's what we're going to see, right? So get ready for it and have your vomit bags ready. But this is what's going to be going on underneath. So when they go home to their existence, that's what they're going to be thinking. That's what they're going to be feeling. It's really going to break both their backs, you know, because this is going to be very public. You see how this figure's outside? This is going to be very public. Like, this is very public. So get ready to switch off your news programs. Six of Pentacles. I think this is the muskrat here. So I think the felon's going to cut off all funding for him. That's how he's going to retaliate. So all the I actually even heard him talking about electric cars and saying who needs an electric car, what have you. And so he's going to cut funding for the muskrat. The muskrat is going to start digging up evidence like you would not believe. And possibly even the felon for the muskrat. But my feeling is the muskrat's going to be feeling like that person there. Okay. You want to stop my money? You want to stop my grants? I got some dirt on you, honey. Lover boy, I got dirt on you that I might choose to leak over the internet, over electronic measures. Didn't come from me. No, 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 it didn't come from me. I don't know where it came from. But there's going to be quite a sharp point to it. Something sharp is going to be happening. It's going to be about money with the page. It's all, everything was just going to be getting back to money with this. The allocation of funds, where funds gone wrong. But this is actually because of the money, like I said, which he's not getting with the six, right? Which the muskrat isn't getting with the Six of Pentacles. This is his reaction. And when he starts to dig up for evidence with the Seven of Pentacles, there's going to be an abundance of evidence there with the Queen, like an abundance of evidence there. And it's going to be rich and it's going to be juicy. There's an abundance of it just under the ground, just buried. He's going to start pulling it up about the connections that I just think this is Musk, the connections that the felon has had. And I'm wondering if this could have something to do with a person by the name of Mr. E. I think this is going to be a part of it. This isn't just going to be about funding. I think this is actually going to be about, it will be about, obviously, about financial things, but past connections. And I'm just thinking, Mr. E, he might have some more stuff to say about that. Then he's just going to go on retreat. He might even decide to go overseas, or might even decide to move. So I kind of get the impression that there's just going to be a whole heap of stuff that's going to get thrown at the felon from the muskrat, because the felon's going to cut Musk off financially with the government funds. And then Muskrat's just going to go, and then it's just going to go, bye, bye, and just leave all that stuff floating on the internet. And, you know, that's what I think. That's what I think. So stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned. This is not over. And yeah, so I think we're about to watch a nice, juicy play fight in the schoolyard, so to speak. But I wouldn't be surprised if the muskrat does electronic things to internal communications in the White House. I think he's got a lot of stuff up his sleeve at his disposal, and because of his knowledge, all things electronic and all things computers. And if he does get told to, leave the USA or gets deported, he'll just do everything from overseas. I think what Musk will be behind will be doing stuff electronically, entertainment only YouTuber, just a humble tarot reader from Australia, reading some tarot cards. So he doesn't need to be in the States to create this stuff for Trump. He can be anywhere. As long as he's got access to a keyboard and the internet, he can do whatever he wants. I think this is how this is going to play out. Now, hold on for one more second. Now, something for us, something for us, something for the collective. I've just grabbed the spellcasting oracle, which I really love. Let's pull an oracle card for us. Spirit, what? This is just for us, for the collective. It's just 2 seconds, guys. Sorry about that, guys. I was just looking for a bell to clean the energy. I have a bell in my bedroom. I've got two, and there's one that I just couldn't find them. So obviously I put them somewhere. So what I did is I've got this big singing bowl. I just gonged the entire house. So yeah, I've just done that. So I've just had a bells and singing bowls. They're really good for clearing the energy if you can do it, or even if you just clap right, just clear that energy when you need to. So yeah, just get rid of that heavy energy, because now we're talking about us. Okay, so Spirit, rooting for us. Spirit, What do we need to know? Spirit. What do we need to know, Spirit? One card, Spirit, just for us, as we just deal with all this rubbish. One card, Spirit, just for the collective. Just for the collective. One card for the collective, Spirit. One card for the collective. Okay. Transformation. The card of the day. All right, I'm just going to have a look at this, guys, and see what this says. Okay, guys, let's read a incantation or two. Let's do that. So what this basically says, it says to hold a piece of Moldavite in your hand during a waxing crescent moon on a Sunday mid-morning, face the east and say, you know what? Let's just do it us now. If you have a crystal, you can hold a crystal. If you don't, that's okay. Just think about the light or close your eyes or visualize something peaceful and listen to my terrible Australian accent. Let's do this. Okay. Are you ready? Consumed within a darkened place, challenges and fears to face. Egoic sense of self now dies. Let the birth of true self rise. Metamorphose feel strange. Butterflies support this change. Moldavite for high vibration assist spiritual transformation. Embrace the dark, no need for fright. The journey's end reveals new light. Okay, so have a few deep breaths, guys. So what I'm getting from that is it's pretty shit right now. It's pretty dark, but there will be light at the end of this tunnel. And it's interesting, and this is kind of why it's humbling how spirit works. Like in the previous readings, I was getting the death card and I was talking about transformation. And then I got that theme with this oracle card, right? So in the midst of all this shit, right? In the midst of all this crap, sometimes for something to be born anew, like the old um has to go on whatever way that means. And it's very dark out there right now, like it's very dark emotionally, mentally, right? It's very dark. But just to know that beyond the darkness there is light. Just really know that, guys. That's what I'm getting from this transformation card. So if you want to go back, you can listen to me read it again or just concentrate on that and just know that this rubbish that we're going through right now, it's transitional. It's not the end all, it's just transitional. Fortunately, it's just transitional. So just stay safe. The protests coming up are on July the 4th on Independence Day. Guys, just if you're protesting, please be safe. Go in numbers. Don't go on your own. Don't go on your own. If you get separated from the people that you're with, have designated places or have a way that you can go to. Make sure that you're able to communicate freely with each other. Just stay really safe, guys. And yeah, so that's my take today. I'm sorry that this has been quite a long reading, a bit more than my usual. So, like I said, what I'll do is I'll put in a description box just where these things are, so you can just pick and choose what you want to do. And all my love, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and spending some time with me. God bless, and I'll be back soon, okay? All right, take care, guys, and thank you once again. Okay, bye. And